I've got a colony of destructive bugs moved in to my lima bean plants. Let me show you organically how I'm going to deal with this problem and save my plants. Hey guys, it's Daryl, Louisiana Simple Living. I'm out in the backyard again today over this July 4th weekend. Finally having a little bit of sun. We basically had some rain just about daily for 4 to 6 weeks. So I'm trying to get back out in the garden, take care of some garden maintenance tasks. You know, so I'm cleaning up the walkways, pulling up weeds, harvesting a little bit of some vegetables, and just overall taking care of the garden. So in the process of working in the garden, I noticed there were some bugs, or a colony of different kinds of bugs, moved in on my nice fresh green lima bean plants that I planted a number of weeks back. So it appears to have a trifecta of aphids, spider mites, and mealybugs. Kind of hard to believe all three on that one same plant. Let me show you how we're going to deal with those bad bugs. Alright, so these are lima beans that I discovered have been colonized with bugs. Let's take a look. You can see some smaller ones down there. So if you kind of look, you can see, you see a white bug there. That's a mealybug. There's spider mites and some aphids as well. They're all over these plants. If you look, there are ants all over. There's different kinds of little flies and even like a wasp. So they basically get their food, their nutrition, from the fluids inside the plant. So when they pop open the skin, so to speak, of the plant, it's kind of like blood in your system. As your heart pumps, you get a cut, the blood wants to come out. Well, when they're ready to eat, they puncture the plant, and then the liquid, the water, you know, the nutrients come out, and it basically kind of leaves a residue, and then when they walk around, creates what they call a honeydew. And that's why you'll see ants, flies, different things, but ants is kind of the telltale sign that you do have some kind of bad bug population that's sucking the juice out of the plant. So that's just another view. If you kind of look close there, you can see the bugs. Some of them are flying. There's ants. And so we know there's infestation that we have to deal with. Alright, see, all you gotta do is just kind of knock the branch. They'll fall in here. Ants and all. Yeah, now what we're trying to look at on the white paper, you can see the bugs a lot better. Insects, of course, like an aphid, would have 6 legs or 3 sets of legs, whereas a spider mite has 4 sets of legs or 8 legs, which it's an arachnid. And the mealybugs, they have a white body, so they're not hard to pick out. First off, what are aphids? Aphids are actually small, pear-shaped, kind of soft-bodied insects. They feed in colonies, so you won't find 1 or 2. You'll find them when they multiply, and they like new growth of virtually any plant to come across. They have the sharp-nosed stylet on their beaks, where they kind of jam into the plant stem or leaf, and they release the sap. And as they feed, like in the other 2 bugs we're going to talk about, they secrete a sticky substance. It's called honeydew. And it's kind of I guess a sweet type substance that attracts ants. It promotes the growth of a black sooty mold in the plant. That plant sap is filled with sugars that aphids and other pests love to feed on. It's kept under pressure, much like the blood in your arteries. When they pierce it, it just starts coming out. Then as they move around, it moves around on the plant. Now we're also seeing some spider mites. So spider mites are actually tiny spiders, the arachnid family. They have 8 legs. They can do a lot of damage to our plants. Usually the first time you notice they're on there is you see little cobwebs. Real small, but they form some webs there. They do exactly as the aphids, in that they pierce the skin of the plant and then extract the juice. And they form honeydew as well. The third insect that we see on here is a mealybug, and those are those white ones I pointed out earlier. There's not a bunch of them on here, but they're on here. They, like I said, they appear white, kind of white cottony appearance. They are warm weather insects. They're related to more scale insects, and they do the same thing though. They suck the juice from the host plant, and they tend to favor new growth. They can damage the plants. They also inject a toxin, causing a deformation potentially, and they also form or create the honeydew, which attracts ants and other insects. So the chances are you're going to have some of these bugs on your plants out in the garden. The only time you're going to have a bad problem is when they colonize like this and kind of take over a plant. They reproduce. Because of the rain, I hadn't been out checking as much as I should. It's important you do that. Nevertheless, large volumes of bugs like this, it will absolutely kill, it'll damage, it'll deform your plants, so you want to be careful. That's why it's so important to get out and check every single day and find out before you have a problem with your bugs. All three of these types of bugs excrete this honeydew, and it attracts ants. And actually, they have a symbiotic kind of relationship. They, in some sense, protect and actually stroke the aphids and these kind of bugs with their antennas, and it causes them to secrete more. Nature's insects are pretty wild. So if you see ants up in the top of your plants here, it's a pretty good chance you probably got some aphids, mealybugs, or maybe even the spider mites. They're up here trying to get the honeydew, and so if you see them, that's a warning sign. Check your plants. And with that in mind, there's enough on here that it'll kill this plant. We got to do something about it. So that's what we're going to do next. Let's do something about it. Now that we know these bugs are taking over this plant, we need to take care of them bugs, get them off the plant in an organic way, because that's important to us here. And so really there's a couple of simple things that we can do. Alright, now first off, we can use a garden hose and a sprayer. You can put it on jet or maybe full. I'll probably use full. And then you actually just blast these guys off of the plants themselves. Once they get out, knock down the plant, they can't crawl all the way back up. Our chances are really slim that any of them ever will. So the first step is blast them off, and let's do that. And even on the shower here, it's knocking them off. See, this was completely covered here. Now you kind of want to take care that you don't blow them off into other good plants. We don't want them to take over on those plants either. Hey, and the key thing is just to make sure you get underneath the leaves, because that's where they predominantly are hiding at, on the stem, but also underneath the leaves. So if you look right here, you can see a bunch are still on here. We'll pop it with a hose here. And they're one thing and on. There it goes, and they're all gone. So the hose technique does work. But I can tell you, as I'm looking through here, there's still some that are able to hang on. We didn't get them all. We'll go to our secondary technique, which is using some neem oil. And we'll spray that neem oil. It's organic, it comes from the neem tree. And basically, we'll spray it on here. It'll either kill, or repel any remaining bugs that are on here. And I'll actually spray the ground too, because some of them may be alive who landed after we blew them off with the hose. Alright, so the next step is to go ahead and spray some neem oil on the plant. It'll kill anything that's still up here. The nice thing about the sprayer too is you can spray it up underneath the leaves, which is where a lot of these bugs hide. Now, again, neem oil, you've heard me talk about it many times. It's organic. It doesn't affect bees and pollinators unless you spray it right on them. All right, that's about all you're gonna have to do here. I'm not too worried about these bugs anymore. All right, I'll check it again in a couple days, see if any of them's alive, see if they'll multiply, and if so, I'll come out and hit them with a hose again, knock them down, and give another spray. So it's different things you can use that's considered organic. There are a number of premixed sprays and insecticidal soaps that you can use that on the bottle basically say, that works against aphids, mealybugs, and spider mites. They either contain neem oil, they can contain spinosad. or other pyrethians. And some of them have this soap mixed in with it because the soap, again, kind of like oil, smothers those bodies, and they don't live basically once they get their body smothered. And remember, neem oil is very effective against any of these soft-bodied kind of bugs. Especially if you kind of do a little bit more of a proactive or preventative, hit it before it gets to be a problem, kind of like I did here. It's a problem here, but we'll take care of it. But if you use the neem oil and the organic kinds of pesticides or bug management sprays, it works pretty well. And there's no poison that's on your food. That's important for me. It's important for my family. Yeah, so you can mix together, minced garlic, cayenne pepper, water, of course, and liquid soap. Castile, I think, is a brand, but some good organic soap that isn't poisonous to the environment, that kind of thing. You can mix that up and spray that on, and it does a pretty good job as well. I haven't ever tried it. I usually use neem oil. I'm pretty happy with it, but that's always an alternative to try something else. Hey, thanks for joining me back over at Louisiana Simple Living again today. We've had a bunch of rain here lately. Let some of my maintenance task, I guess, my upkeep of the garden, been kind of to the wayside with between work and between all the rain. So I went out here the last couple days over this July 4th weekend, cleaned up as well as I could. In the process, discovered there was a whole colony of 3 different types of bugs on my lima beans. There were aphids, there were spider mites, there were some mealybugs. So went through the process of how you can treat that, how you can identify what you got, of course, and then how you can treat it to get rid of those bugs and save your plants. If you haven't as yet, please subscribe, ring the notification bell, and like that video. Feel free to share it as well. As always, I mentioned, it's important that we make memories. We've had family over yesterday. We actually went to family today. Spending time over the July 4th weekend, what better to do than spend time with family and make memories. And as always, I will see you on the next video.